closely. So what do you think about the next generation of talent that is coming, Maya Rajeshwaran, Shrivalli? If you would give us a sneak peek at what you think about.
Yeah, I think that, they're both different age groups though. Shrivalli is a little bit older than Maya, but Maya has shown a lot of potential. And, it's been a long time coming, this question of who after you. And this is something that we've been dealing with for the last, 25 years now. So it's really good to see a young 15, 16-year-old finally making it through and sort of just, holding her own in the categories that are above her age group as well. And as we saw, I think in the Billie Jean King Cup, the girls showed a lot of heart, which happened earlier this year, and it was great to watch Shrivalli and all the other girls really come out of their comfort zone and play really well back to back a lot of matches. So it was very nice to see, and it's a great time to obviously give a shout out to the Davis Cup team, who just won first time in over I think 31 or 32 years in Europe against a European team beating Switzerland yesterday, and Sumit Nagal really leading from the front there. So I think we are looking at brighter days. Would be obviously nicer to see. I think the girls was a little bit bleak over the last few years, but would be nicer to see more kids like Maya, especially at that age group, sort of coming up.
So here another question I want to ask is, what do you think about D. Suresh? Like we didn't have too many good singles players even in men's coming over the years. So what do you think of her?
No, we've actually on the men's side, we've still been a lot better, right? We've had the likes of, after Leander, then we had Somdev, who did make it to top 100. I mean, even though they were 70, 80, 65 in the world, but they were still top 100. After that, we had a long gap of nobody. Then we had Yuki briefly come into that top 100 category. And now we're finally seeing more potential. Then we had Sumit, obviously, who made it up over the last year and a half, had a great sort of resurgence of sorts. But these guys are not that young anymore. These guys are 28, 29, 30, and in tennis terms it's not that young really. I know it sounds harsh, but that's what it is. But Sumit's done an unbelievable job to sort of keep the flag flying high solo for the last few years, and also winning yesterday in that Davis Cup. And Suresh the same. I think that we just need to give him some time, and we finally are seeing results in singles coming out, and he still has some way to go obviously, but I think we definitely see some potential in him, and hopefully there are bigger and greater things to come.
And talking about doubles, like what you have achieved. And now Yuki is also turning the heat up after a long time. So do you think that Indian tennis ecosystem, they need to take doubles seriously for youngsters, and not just that they will just try out in singles first and then go to doubles? Do you think that specialization can happen?
I think it can, but I just feel that the normal way to go is to make, play singles. See, I was top 30 in the world in singles, and obviously that hasn't happened in men or women in a very, very long time. So the bar was set very high suddenly, and then all of a sudden when we didn't get a lot of singles, a lot of progress there and a lot of success there, doubles is physically an easier way to play. It's good. It requires different skills, but it puts less pressure on the body. To answer your question, do I think should people only play doubles? There are a couple of kids that do that actually today, but I don't agree with it. I believe that you can make a transition later on. I believe that you can work your body, and if your body is not, really on your side and you have some injuries and stuff, then maybe you can make the transition. But, all my life, I played singles and doubles both. And probably that was the reason for a lot of injuries as well. But having said that, I first succeeded in singles. And then when my body was not able to, take it anymore, I said, instead of being, for my standards, I thought I was not supposed to be 70, 80 in the world. And I was like, I'm meant to be top 30 or top 20. So I was like, what, let me not be mediocre according to my standards and go into something that is, that can help me win slams and become number one in the world. So in hindsight, it was the right call. So I feel that's a correct way to transition, that if you really feel that you need to make that jump. Just playing doubles, I feel, yes, you'll have lesser injuries. definitely. But I feel that we anyway produce so many great doubles champions even without doing that. So I feel like we should still try to really, make it in singles as well.
How much has women's tennis changed in terms of, since you are regularly doing commentary at all the Grand Slams and you are so keyed in? So what is the kind of changes in vis-a-vis power tennis has come?
No, it's become huge. I think the power tennis sort of that whole shift happened when the Williams sisters came into play, over 20 years ago. And after that, I feel what happened was that the courts got faster. Well, for the first, the courts got slower, then the balls got bigger, so everything was longer, the points were longer, the rallies were longer, the matches were longer. Now the courts are back to getting fast again. Like if you see US Open and if you watched Alcaraz and Sinner, I mean, the court is lightning fast, and but tennis has become, 3 times, 4 times more physical than it used to be, let's say 30 years ago. That also has a lot to do with technology, that has a lot to do with the way the rackets are playing, that has a lot to do with the way the players are training today, that has a lot to do with the adaptation, it has a lot to do with recovery. So all this is part and parcel of growing, right? And any sport, even if you take cricket, I mean, you could not think 40 years ago that 2020 would be the way to go, right? So, but it requires a lot of fitness, even though it's 3 hours, it requires, so everything evolves in every sport, and it's happened with tennis as well, and it has become much more physical today.
And regarding like someone who has been a pioneer in Indian tennis and you have seen world tennis grow, do you think the equal prize money is the way to go forward?
Yeah, I mean, we are already at par in Grand Slams with equal prize money. There are a few tournaments where it is also the same. But it is actually a myth that women and men tennis players earn the same amount of money. Yes, they earn the same amount of money in Grand Slams. But that's, and maybe 1 or 2 tournaments outside of that. But there are not that many tournaments. At the end of the day, if you take somebody who's 80 in the world in singles in women and 80 in the world in men, he'll have more prize money. But that's because of the disparity in the other tournaments. So, having equal prize money in today's day and age should not even be a point of discussion, in my opinion, because the work that goes in, the kind of team that goes in, the expenses that go in, everything that's happening is the same for female and male. Now, if you're going to say, oh, okay, the men can hit the ball harder than the female, I mean, that's not a logical argument because physiologically men and women are different. But in women, tennis is, in my opinion, one of the hardest and most athletic global sports to have, to play. And I don't think that because, a lot of people argue that, oh, the men play best of 5 sets and the women play best of 3 sets, so that's why they should not get equal. I don't think that 1 or 2 sets, it's not about that. It's about, there are some women finals that are creating more viewership than men's are, for example. And I'm not saying every single one. So I'm saying, but also everybody puts in the same effort, and a lot of that also comes for effort, not just for, oh, they're playing 1 set extra or 2 sets extra.
And would like to know also about, apart from commentary, you have been actively mentoring players. Sania Mirza Tennis Academy. Please tell us a bit more about how you're finding the latest talent that's coming through the system and how it has been mentoring them, and also a bit about pickleball. I think you knew love.
Yeah, well, SMTA has been going on for almost 10 years now in Hyderabad, and it's an academy that's very close to our heart because it was our baby. As a family, that was our way of trying to give back to the city, to the country, to the state, for everything that the love that I have gotten, and to try and give an opportunity for young players to not have the same problems that I did many years ago. So yeah, that was a dream for us. It was something we did as a family together, and to try and put it together. And our goal and aim always has been that. So till today, I can say, like, if any of the younger tennis players, like Karman or anybody, I mean, they just pick up the phone and they can message me and ask me for advice. And that's the kind of approachability I would like to have, because I think that the experience that we've had all these years, we should be able to share that and help that next generation. And SMTA is just an extension of that, to be very honest, and we try to do that. We have SMTA in Dubai, we have SMTA in Hyderabad. as far as pickleball is concerned, yes, we are actually pickleball is huge in India, as we know, and in the subcontinent it's absolutely erupted. So we because I base out of Dubai and India, so we thought that it was a great way to bring pickleball to this region, and we hosted our first tournament in May, which was a huge success, and we've partnered with Global Sports, who also does pickleball in India, and we have another local partner here as well. And so we're doing actually our next tournament next month in October, and we're really looking forward to it. We're looking forward to a lot of entries. We had about 300 entries and 22 countries that came and participated in May. We run the two main pickleball centers here, and our goal is to try to bring pickleball and make it a phenomena that it is all over America, all over India, all over the subcontinent, and into the GCC as well.
The National Sports Policy has now become an act, and it requires 30% women representation in all the elite national sports federations. Someone who is a pioneer in tennis, in women's tennis, can we see you in AITA in future? Like, would you like to take command? Because AITA has gone through turbulent periods, and we have never had any proper women representation in Indian tennis.
Look, I feel that I don't know if being in that power position is the only way I can help. That's my honest answer to you. If I had an opportunity, would I be able to, if I can contribute more by being in that position, I would love to do it. But is it something that I'm aiming, or that's my goal? No, the answer is no, that's not my goal. My goal and my aim is to try to help as many of the young generation as possible, especially young girls, because I feel that they don't have too many role models that they can look up to, and share my experiences that I've had. And if that gives me an opportunity to get into a system, let's say, and gives me more opportunity than just, being on the phone or helping them out on the court or whatever, I'm happy to do it. But it's not something that I really focus, or that's not really my goal.
And a final question, did you get a chance to watch the match yesterday?
I did, and I didn't watch the entire thing because there was some problem with my internet. But my dad did go and watch it at the stadium, and I'm super happy that we won. I mean, I think we were by far the much better team. So yeah, like every other Indian, I was very happy.
And would you come to watch the match on 21st? Is another India-Pakistan match happening?
I don't know. I don't think I'm in the country, actually. I think I'm flying out on 21st. So if I am in the country, I may come.